Hello, welcome back to this course on usually we were discussing the food and beverage department. So far we have covered in the previous sections food and beverage revenue, food and beverage expenses in all the line items and all the revenue items. Apart for understanding the profit and loss statement, not only these line items, understanding not only these line items is important, but it's also important to understand some statistics and certain other understanding the other operating statistics for the room for the F&B department. So usually has prescribed certain standards, certain operating metrics that we are going to look now, and then there will be certain more that we are not covered here, but we will be looking at separately. So the first table that usually recommends to look at is this table, which is describing the operating matrices for F&B department. It covers the revenue mix, the average check, and the cost of food sales, cost of beverage sales, and also some certain other operating ratios. This table will just give you a very brief idea or a bird eye view of the operating performance of the hood of the F&B department as a whole, where it will be telling you how much the revenue makes from the venue revenue, how much is the banquet, how much is in-room dining, audio-visual, function revenue, and other expenses. Similar way, it will ask the average check. So how do we calculate average check? Average check is calculated by the total revenue collected in each line item divided by the number of guests in that particular venue or in that particular line. So it may be include food and beverage, and food and beverage is also further divided into venues and banquet categories and in-room dining. Others means audio visual and function room will not have a average per spend, because normally they are not charged per person, normally they are charged as a fixed amount. So average check is only calculated when you are charging per dish or per person to the guest, which is usually only the food and beverage or tobacco or any other item which is being charged to the guest on a per person or a per recipe basis. Then you have the revenue mix. So revenue mix is calculated the total amount, actual revenue for F&B venue divided by the total amount, total revenue, and then will be coming here, and then you will be comparing it against the budget. So it means that every year you may have to make a budget, how much percentage I will be getting it from the F&B, how much percentage I will get from the catering. When you are doing the budget, these percentages will automatically be calculated when you are doing the budget, and then you compare it against the previous year, similar month of the previous year, and also the year to date. So the year to date will also obviously follow from the opening of your financial year, whatever the hotel is using. The next cost is the cost of food sale for food and beverage venues in banquet and in-room dining, and then the cost of beverage for venues, in-room banquet, and the in-room dining. And then you will have some inventory turn in. So inventory turns means that how much time the inventory has been used, number of days for each item, right? So how do we calculate that? We normally calculate the total inventory divided by the average sales of the month. So that will help us to understand number of days inventory on the hand, while the inventory turnover will be calculated by the sales divided by the total sale of that particular item for liquor, for wine, for bottle beer, and for draft beer, divided by the average inventory that we hold during the month beginning and during the end of the month. So you will add the inventory for both beginning period and ending period, divide by 2, so you will get an average inventory. This amount you will be dividing the total sale for this particular category from the average inventory that you just calculated in the previous set. So you will be able to get the inventory turn for liquor, wine, bottle beer and draft beer, and then also you will be able to calculate the total inventory, total number of days the inventory on hold. This is very important to understand, because it will give you an idea what type of inventory is fast moving, what is not so fast moving, so that you can make promotions and adjustments. Then the next table usually recommends is the food and beverage venues revenue by food and beverage revenue per available guest and per available seat and per customer. Now how do we calculate that? We will be looking at the formula in the next after this table, so don't worry about that. Then for the catering and banquet, it asks to calculate per group room sold plus the per square feet meter. These two are very, very important when you are understanding how much is, because in the hotel usually you have available seat, you have available in the F&B revenue you have available seat. Sometimes the hotels are also calculating the F&B revenue per available guest in the hotel. So how many guests are sitting in the hotel and how much is my revenue per guest, is it increasing or decreasing? Same like RevPAR, because that's the total number of market that you already have. You may be calculating the capture ratio of the guest, you may be calculating the other you may be calculating the capture ratio of the in-house guest, and you may also be calculating a separate for the outside guest. So food and beverage revenue per available seat per customer, you may also calculate per available guest in the hotel. For catering and banquets, you may want to calculate the catering and banquet revenue per group room sold. So what is the meaning of per group room sold? Usually you have group revenue from the hotel, from the rooms department, right? So there are maybe many groups which are coming into the hotel. So how many of those groups have actually used the banquet facilities? So this revenue per group room sold will help us to understand what is the take-up ratio, right? So you can either calculate the capture ratio for the total number of checks, total number of covers, divide by the total number of guests who are coming into the group rooms. That is one way to understand what is the take-up ratio of the banquet facilities. The another way is to compare the revenue per group room sold. So when you are comparing it with the budget and with the last year, you will be able to understand, are we having similar take-up ratio or different take-up ratio, right? Or comparing with the other hotels, because this is standard, so you will be able to get the data from those hotels. Then you have catering F&B revenue per square feet of function space. Sometimes you have very large function rooms but very little usage, and maybe once in a day function, twice a day function. Sometimes the functional facility is very small, but the turn in time is very fast, because you are turning around the function on maybe twice a day or 3 times a day for doing the functions. In one hotel where I used to work, we used to turn the banquet facilities 3 times a day, one for the morning weddings, one for the afternoon weddings, and one for the dinners. So then our revenue per square feet was very high compared to our competitors, which were able to serve only one function or 2 functions a day. Then you have function room rentals. How much function room rental we are able to get from the F&B room sold and also the per square feet. Then you have additional revenue, similar way. Then you are inside room in room dining. You want to calculate in room dining revenue per room sold or per guest, per available guest. Then the total F&B revenue you are calculating total F&B revenue per available room. This may not make much sense, because you may have a different market mix of banquet, you may have different market mix of in-room dining, and also the audiovisual revenue, and also the number of venues in the hotel. So while you are comparing this total F&B revenue per available room with other hotels, you may have to consider how many venues they have and how many venues do you have really.